Welcome back. Apple have just launched the 14 and 14 Pro series, which we have waited for. iPhone 14 series is somewhat similar to its previous version. But the 14 Pro series has something special, with new technologies and features. Want to know about it? Then stick till the end, and those who are watching, make sure to subscribe for more updates. Let's begin. This year, the new signature color is deep purple, and it's quite subtle. The color is dark and desaturated, so it actually looks gray with a slight tint. The other color options are space black, silver, and gold. In terms of shape and proportions, not much has changed since the iPhone 12 Pro series was launched. You still have a flat back and frame that runs around all four sides. The camera module on the rear has grown yet again, so unfortunately, cases for last year's phones won't fit. The iPhone 14 Pro weighs 206 grams, while the iPhone 14 Pro Max comes in at a hefty 240 grams. Before there were commercials and whole branding exercises hailing the notch on the Apple iPhone, there was a long row of iPhone XS devices in the lobby of the Steve Jobs Theater. There was something timid about the choice to hide it in the wallpaper, like Apple wasn't quite as confident of its fairly iconic screen cutout. With the iPhone 14 Pro, it looks like Apple has finally figured it out. It's the Dynamic Island, a black contextual box that will now appear around the iPhone 14's cutout, inviting you to toggle DND mode, monitor the length of your phone calls, check how much life is left in your AirPods, or even pop up a sports score. Apple has decided to give you lots of pretty ways to monitor your sports. The box pops up with a little animation. It's smooth and pleasant in the way the best user interface animations are. The Dynamic Island has just the goofiest name, but it feels like a vital new part of Apple's design language. The Dynamic Island is exclusive to the Pro iPhones because of the display technology that Apple can take advantage of at these prices. The Super Retina XDR display is now slightly taller and has narrower borders. Apple claims a massive 1600 nits peak brightness for HDR, and these panels are rated to hit 2000 nits outdoors. The refresh rate can go down to 1 Hz to save power. The always-on display is a first for iPhones, and it's a huge change. In typical Apple fashion, there's a very particular visual style to its implementation. Rather than the plain text or simple graphics on a black background that you might expect on Android phones, the new iOS 16 always-on display is simply your lock screen, but dimmed. Apple uses machine learning to adapt your wallpaper image to reduce brightness. It also claims 29 hours of battery life with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and 23 hours with the iPhone 14 Pro. Of course, there's also a brand new camera setup, with a 48 megapixel camera, and quad pixel binning for the first time. Apple claims the sensor is 65% larger than the one in the iPhone 13 Pro. There's even a new 2x zoom option that effectively crops the middle of a 48 megapixel shot to give you a 12 megapixel result with high detail. Then, there's a new 12MP ultra-wide camera sensor with more focus pixels for sharper macros and better low-light shots. Other new features include crash detection and satellite-based emergency messaging, but it is only available for US and Canada. Apple's new Pro phones are more expensive than their predecessors in India, even though the price levels in the US have not changed. The iPhone 14 Pro starts at $130,000 for 128 GB, $140,000 for 256 GB, $160,000 for 512 GB, and $180,000 for the 1 TB option. The larger iPhone 14 Pro Max costs $10,000 more at each level. It's still unclear why the gap between iPhone and iPhone Pro prices is so much wider in India than in other countries. The iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max are officially discontinued, but should continue to be available from third-party retailers for some time, hopefully at discounted prices. That's the video, guys. Hope it is useful, and if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.